Welcome to Greenable Woodbridge. I'm Carolyn Ehrlich, your host, and today we have a first-time repeat guest. So I'm really excited. We have with us Scott Fisher, who is the managing partner in Seal Power, and with him is Natalie Tassi, who is a home energy audit technician. Did I get that right?
Home performance
consultant. Okay. And what we did together was we actually went out to a house and did a home energy audit, and we're going to see a film of that in just 1 second. But just to remind our viewers or anyone who did not see the first show, tell them a little bit about what your company is doing here in Woodbridge and why it is so important.
Sure. We kicked off a home energy assessment program here in Woodbridge that offers Woodbridge residents discounted home energy assessments. So for the cost of $49, anybody within Woodbridge, or the zip codes that comprise Woodbridge, are eligible to receive a home energy audit, which is the first step towards participating in the New Jersey Home Performance with Energy Star rebate and incentive program. That's really why most folks here in New Jersey have a home energy assessment on their house, is because it's the first step towards receiving up to $5,000 cash back and up to $10,000 in zero interest financing through the New Jersey Home Performance Program. Most people don't know this program exists, but it's one of the best programs in the country to increase the energy efficiency of your home.
And best kept secrets in New Jersey,
Certainly
which
is
why we're working so hard to get the word out, because not only will our residents save money and save energy, they're going to be more comfortable in their homes. Mm-hmm. In the winter, they're not going to sit in their den with the window behind them, blowing air on them, freezing to death, and in the summer have the air conditioner all up and have it doing nothing for them. And I think especially as I walked through and watched you do the home energy assessment, you can see where those drafts are, where people, it's really like money is going out the window, and what you do proves it.
Literally proves it. In most houses that were built around mid-century, in the 50s, the 40s, the 60s, they're notoriously leaky. They're notoriously inefficient. And that's really why this program was put together for the residents of New Jersey. It's sponsored by the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities. Essentially, it's a whole bunch of money that we all contribute into that's pooled together to help people increase the energy efficiency of their homes. It doesn't pay for all the measures outright, but it is a very significant incentive program that people can utilize to upgrade their insulation, to air seal their home, to install mechanical equipment such as heating and air conditioning equipment, and to upgrade their hot water heating system.
Just amazing.
It really is.
And really, most of the housing stock here in Woodbridge was built in the 50s. Mm-hmm. And another interesting thing is that because the houses are really so old, they've had new windows put in, and they maybe even had new insulation. So people think, oh, I'm good. But if you had those windows put in even 10, 20 years ago, they could be drafty already, correct?
Absolutely. Most people think it's a common misperception. Most people think that the windows lead to a lack of efficiency, or the windows is where the majority of conditioned air escapes through the house. And in fact, windows represent only about 15% of the exterior surface of your home.
That's true.
So if you think about it, windows really aren't taking up a whole lot of surface space as it relates to the exterior walls of your home. Most of the conditioned air in the wintertime is escaping through the attic.
The attic.
You got it.
Yep.
Through all those little penetrations. If you have recessed lights up there, especially the older ones, those are notorious energy wasters. They're like a dozen little chimneys up along the upper level of your house, where all of that conditioned air just escapes right through. And it gets drawn in through the basement as well. It gets drawn in around where the actual walls of your house meet the foundation, along the rim joist there. So as that air escapes out the attic, it simultaneously pulls in that cold, damp air through your basement and upwards into your living space. It's known as convection.
It circulates right through
Yep,
it.
you got
So
it.
what we're going to do now is let our viewers go along with us as you did a home energy audit. And I want to stress that you don't do it this quickly. This is an abbreviated version that we were really there for a couple of hours, and it was much more detailed. But what we've captured here for the people who are watching are the highlights. And it's really, really great. So let's take a look.
Hello there.
Hi.
Welcome to Greenable Woodbridge. I'm the mayor.
Nice to meet you, Natalie.
You too. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Come on in. This is Carolyn Ehrlich, our chief of
Hi,
staff.
Caroline. Hi there.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, John.
Come on in.
We are here at a home in Woodbridge to do a sample energy audit and to show you how really easy it is, and so that you can get an understanding of how you can find out how you can save energy. So John is to use all of the equipment and show us how that works, and Natalie is going to do the explaining. So follow me, we're going to start off in the basement. Okay, Natalie, I see John has a drill. What is he going to do with that?
He's actually going to drill into the flue of the furnace and check it, the backdraft and for CO2.
Very good. And that does no damage to the furnace?
No, he'll seal it back up.
Oh, okay. That's great. Okay, John, you want to show us how this works?
What the manometer is testing is so we can depressurize the house to make sure that all the carbon monoxide and the gases are venting properly to the outside of the house.
Natalie, I was kind of surprised that this isn't just about energy, but you also actually did a safety check.
Yes.
While you were in there. Tell
Yes,
me about that.
we do all the health and safety checks throughout the home. So we want to check all the mechanical equipment. So what John will do when he comes to the house is he will drill a hole in the furnace to test for draft and CO. He also uses the manometer to do so. After he's done with that, he'll go throughout the home, make sure all the windows and doors are locked from the outside to test the CO and draft throughout the home.
That's terrific.
Yeah, we think so too. What the manometer is testing is so we can depressurize the house to make sure that all the carbon monoxide and the gases are venting properly to the outside of the house. We're going to be firing up the furnace to make sure that the hot water heater is venting properly. We're also going to be using a small mirror to test around the water heater to test it for spillage. We want to make sure that the mirror doesn't fog, because if it does, that means that the gases are leaking back out into the home. We're also going to be checking for carbon monoxide for the unit as well. So when we come into the basement, we're also going to be checking your rim joists. That's where the sill and the foundation meet in your basement. We want to just check for insulation levels. That's where a huge part of air leakage is in your home. A good indicator is if you see cobwebs or spider webs moving, you could actually locate where the air leakage is coming through the home. Also, we want to check for the dryer vent. We want to just make sure that it's not a fire hazard. If it's an aluminum foil rigid vinyl vent, that would be a fire hazard. We want to swap it out for an aluminum flexible vent instead. We will go into the attic, and what we do there is we check for insulation, and if you do have existing insulation, what type of insulation that you have, and if it is in good shape. We'll check the attic flat, the attic slope, the knee walls throughout the attic. If you do have existing insulation, the most common type is fiberglass. Fiberglass does not stop airflow, but the product that we use is an all-green natural cellulose product, and that will insulate and stop airflow throughout your attic as well. We're going to check windows. We want to first see what it's made out of, check the framing of the window to see how well it's connected to the drywall. We're also going to look to see how many panes of glass it is. An easy way of doing that is taking a piece of paper and holding it up to the window and look for the reflection. If you see one reflection, you know it's a single pane. If you see two reflections, you know it's a double pane, and three reflections, you would know then it's a triple pane window. So we're going to do a blower door test, which John will connect to your outside exterior door, and that's going to depressurize your home, and that's how we'll be able to locate where the air leakage is throughout your home, whether it be around windows, and he can also use his infrared camera, and that's how we'll detect your insulation levels and air leakage throughout your exterior walls as well. This fan will draw the air from the inside of the house out, and at the same time it will suck air from the outside in. So if there are any air leaks throughout the home, it will show by, let's say, having a door blow open. The darker colors on the camera will show the colder areas of the wall, and the lighter colors will show the warmer areas of the wall. During wintertime, you want to see warmer walls, and during the summertime, you want to see cooler walls. When we first get to your house, we just want to inspect the outside. We check to see what siding you have. We make note of how many windows you have. We also check for oil gas meters. If there's any overhangs, we'd like to take note of that. Any AC condensers, things of that nature. We would like to take note of what siding the homeowner has, because then we will be able to know if we can insulate from the outside or if we have to insulate from the inside. We also like to take note of if the home has an overhang. We have to find out if there's any insulation there, because if not, we would have to insulate that as well.
Welcome back. Wasn't that interesting? It was so great. Natalie, I have to tell you though, I was there, and the most fascinating part was you put this red thing on the door, and I'm standing there, and the door to the basement all of a sudden flies open. It was like there was a ghost in the house. If you wanted to like film a haunted house, whatever it was that you did, the door just went, nobody was there, just flew open. Why did that happen?
So that's one of the things that our licensed technician does when he gets to your home, is he'll do a blower door test on the outside of your home. That's where he hooks it up, that red thing you were talking about. So that depressurizes your home and draws in the outside air into your home. So the door that you saw that was leading to the basement, that air was getting brought in from the rim joist, and it was pulling the air from the outside and pushing the door open. So that was one of the many points of air leakage that the homeowner had throughout their home.
Then you're holding a report in your hand.
Yes.
Now this is what you're going to give to the homeowner?
Yes, with every home energy audit, you will get a home performance consultant like myself to come back to your house to explain the home energy information that we got from your home energy audit. And this is the report that they would get. We would go over the safety, the comfort, and the efficiency of that homeowner's home. We would go over all the health and safety checks that we did. Some, for example, are gas leaks, carbon monoxide. We check for asbestos, knob and tube wiring, things like that. We also then will go through and we let the homeowner know where any air leakage was that we found, just like with the blower door test. We go over insulation levels, what BPI recommends, the Building Performance Institute recommends, and where the homeowner compares to the recommendations. We go through the mechanical equipment. We'll let them know if they all tested properly and drafting properly. And then at the very end, we also go over the recommendations and solutions from the state. And that's when the homeowner finds out what rebates they qualify for, the loan amount that they possibly qualify for, and then what we would do for them at the end.
That's fantastic. Now, before the show, Scott, you were talking to me a little bit about air leakage and how much money this homeowner might be saving on their electric bill and rebates. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So what we do is we take all the information that we collect during this home energy assessment and we enter it into a set of software that's provided to us by the New Jersey Home Performance with Energy Star program. This software creates something called an energy model of the house, essentially how this house loses or wastes energy. Then as a firm, we propose a series of different measures that we can install to help increase the overall energy efficiency of the house. With the measures that we recommended for this home is projected to save over 44% per year on the cost of their on the energy that it consumes.
Wow.
Right. So in addition to that,
my friends who volunteer their house are going to like you a lot.
they're going to qualify also for, as a result, this is a tiered incentive program. So anybody that is projected to save over 25% a year qualifies for a full $5,000 cash back and a $10,000 zero interest loan to help install the recommendations that we've made to them during the visit that they had with the home performance consultant. So it's a win-win. Not only are they going to receive some assistance, financial assistance in installing this upgraded insulation or this upgraded mechanical equipment, but they're also every year from here to as long as they're in the home, they're going to realize the benefit of having installed these measures every heating and cooling season.
Mm-hmm. So this is amazing. And I mean, I did just mention this was one of my friends, and I would sit with her, and every winter she would talk about how drafty your house is. So she's going to be more comfortable, and it's just a fantastic opportunity. There's no reason for anybody not to be taking advantage of this. The town had put out actually an RFP to find out who would bring these audits to our residents at the cheapest price, and you won that. You're also doing this same procedure in other towns, and you've done it there. What are some of the other towns you've been in?
We are. We recently wrapped up a similar project to what's happening here in Woodbridge, not too far away in Highland Park, New Jersey.
That was your first town, right?
It was.
Yep.
And we were able to perform assessments on over 10% of the homes in Highland Park.
And I think that beat their goal?
Significantly.
Yeah.
In addition, we were able to install energy efficiency measures into dozens of the homes in Highland Park.
That's terrific. And you know, we're a very competitive town when it comes to sustainability. So to all of our residents out there, we got to beat Highland Park's 10%.
Well, we've been working in Woodbridge for a while. We've
Yeah.
actually performed dozens of home energy assessments here in Woodbridge. So you're off to a good start. It's
Good,
getting
good,
competitive.
yeah. So I know we're expanding. We sent the mailings first to Colonia. Now we're doing Woodbridge and Sea Warren. But this is open to everybody.
Everybody.
We're going to have our flyers at the farmers markets, at the concerts, and you can go on the website. And how can they get in touch with you if they want to have this done?
They can call our office at 201-632-3463, or they can schedule a home energy assessment online at www.cielpower.woodbridge. You can see what our schedule looks like. You can see all the different openings that we have, and you can book an appointment right online.
That's terrific. And they're in your house, it takes a few hours?
It's a two-step process. So initially, a technician comes to your home. They're there for about 2 to 3 hours, depending on the size of your home and how complex the systems are in your house. They're going to collect about 250 data points. We're going to bring that back to the office. We're going to enter that into the software. We're going to make a series of recommendations, things we can do to improve the efficiency and comfort of the home. And then you're going to have a follow-up visit with somebody like Natalie, who's our home performance consultant.
Right.
She's going to really explain to you what the findings were in plain English, so it's easy to understand, and along with the upgrades and what incentives that you're eligible for.
And then if you were to come back to do all the work, which you could, you fill out all the applications and everything that they need for the rebates.
Absolutely. Our firm will help with the entire process. We'll fill out all the paperwork for you. It'll be a few signatures along the way, everything from the customer participation agreement all the way through to the completion certificate. The folks in our office will lend a hand with.
That is terrific. And Natalie, one of the things that I did not realize until I went on the tour with you, that it wasn't just about energy, it was also about safety. And that is really reassuring. Can you touch a little bit on what the safety things are that you look at?
Sure. Like I mentioned before, we check for gas leaks. We make sure all the mechanical equipment is drafting properly. You don't want any of the off gases or the CO to come back into the house.
Right.
So we make sure that is, safe for the homeowner. We also check for, like I said, asbestos, knob and tube wiring, and things like that throughout the house. And there's actually around $2,000 allocated through this program to help remediate that.
Really?
If we find any safety issues that can help remediate those issues for the
I
homeowner.
love when I learn something new on my own show.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't
Yes.
realize that. That is great.
Yes.
And another thing that when you were doing the audit, the poor guy who was actually doing the testing, you were talking and I
Yeah.
was just standing around visiting, but she had a crawl space for the attic that he really went in and took a look at. Can you
Oh,
tell
yeah.
us a little bit about how they can tell what's coming in from the attic with the insulation and everything?
Sure. I mean, John or our technicians will go throughout every part of your home, just like you said. That little area in the attic, he will crawl on his hands and knees and look there. He looks at the actual insulation that you have and will rate it, whether it's fair, good, if it's in good quality and whatnot. And then he also will find, your top plates, what needs to be sealed. He'll check the attic slopes, the knee walls, behind the knee walls. He just looks throughout the entire space and finds out where air leakage is coming from, and like I said, the quality of the insulation. So we know what work we have to do when we get back.
And another thing that I picked up on was cobwebs can
Yes.
tell a story.
Yes.
What do they tell you?
So the cobwebs, when our technician was at the house, was located in the rim joist. So when you see cobwebs moving in your rim joist, that's a clear sign that you have air
Something's-
leakage. Yeah, and that the
Something's
air is
moving,
getting
right? And it's
drawn
not the
through your
spider in
hose.
there.
No, it will probably just be the webs. Yeah, it's a clear sign that you definitely have air leakage, and that's the main point that it enters your house, like Scott said earlier. So that's a clear indication that you need to seal it up and get some insulation over there.
Well, you are one of the best programs, I think, that the Greenable Woodbridge program has actually brought to our residents, because it's something they can use, they can save money on, and it's almost like our slogan, but we talk about the two greens. It's the green of the environment, and it's the green of, from our point of view, it's the green of the taxpayer money, but for each of our residents, it's about the green in their pocket. And you clearly serve both of those greens, so it's really terrific. And we have a few minutes left, so I don't know, Scott, if I asked you all the right questions, if you hit on everything, if you'd like to sum up the program a little bit.
Absolutely. You mentioned taxpayers. One thing is that this is not costing the taxpayers any out-of-pocket expense, this the program here in Woodbridge. We're simply able to offer a reduced price on the service that we offer to Woodbridge residents because we have a certain economy of scale. By working in one community and doing a lot of work in that community, it helps us really consolidate our operations and allows us to reduce the pricing that we extend to Woodbridge residents. So go ahead.
In fact, the residents have already paid for the rebates because there is a special little line. What's it called again on the electric bills?
For most people, it's a little line item on your bill called the Societal Benefits Charge.
Societal Benefits Charge. And that little bit of a percentage that they collect every month on your bill goes into this clean energy fund. So it is your money that they are giving back to you. So take your money and run with it because it is yours.
Yes.
Absolutely. That money is pooled together, and the New Jersey Clean Energy Program, which is the parent of this particular program, the New Jersey Home Performance with Energy Star program, pools all that money together and develops energy efficiency programs that they offer to both businesses and residents of New Jersey, and this is one of those programs. So it's here for you. It's your money. You contributed to it.
Right.
Please go in, take it back, and the first step towards doing so is to schedule a home energy assessment. And you can certainly do that through our firm. We'd be happy to come out and take a look at your home.
And one last comment I want to make about that funding is that it is state funding, and you never ever know, because each year is another budget, you never know how long it's going to last there.
Correct.
So get it now before the program disappears.
Yes.
And so I want to thank you very much for coming back, for doing the audit, for making my friends happy, and for making every resident of Woodbridge Township happy, because hopefully they'll all get a home energy audit and save money and take advantage of the programs that are out there.
Thanks
so
for having
thank you
us.
very much
Yes, thanks for
for
having us.
watching Greenable Woodbridge, being part of the excitement and part of the change.